Hey,
Greetings, sir. How are
Rahubat,
you?
greetings. How are you? What's your name? Where are you calling
Well,
from? And what's your question, please?
Civil I'm calling from South Africa.
Greetings.
My questions is based on self. Like, since I've been reading about self, it's like self is trying to discover itself or it's expanding. That's my question. It's as self has made itself into different races because it starts from one thing and then expanded itself. So, what is the whole purpose of itself fighting itself? It's more like that's my question.
So, are you
Why are
saying?
we having races? Like we having these different races. We having blacks, we having Indians, and then we are not all on one thing. Like the energy has separated. There's more evil than good in earth. So my question is, why is all this happening while self is discovering itself? Why not good happen while self is discovering itself? I don't know if my
Yeah,
question
I can. I
is
get your
clear.
question. I was just trying to make sure you're saying self, not south. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Because
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
the I itself, the force, the
yes,
energy.
I got you. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Let me answer that for you. Okay.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right. So, yeah, that's the whole point of what we're doing now because we're dealing with cycles, and that the last 6,000 years up until the year 2000, most people were dumbed down, and it was the religious world dominated by using the spell of six ether forces. And this is making you think to worship outside of self, just look outside to someone else, to some deity, some, they gave you names like Allah, like God, Jehovah, all these names which were based on characters in a book. That book was written by somebody. So you took away looking into yourself and realizing that the power is within you. And this is what caused separations in things like religions, because people were made to feel that they're better than everyone else. Because if you belong to a particular religion and you believe a particular book, and the book says you're the best, this is what you should do, and everyone else is going to hell if they don't follow what you do, then you felt like you were better than someone else, and it created competitions. So the racism and the racist games came in afterwards, because even the thing like when people say the white race, that didn't exist up until like 1800s. That term didn't even exist. And the same that each major religion, from the monotheistic religions of Abraham, they then started to divide into so many different denominations, to the point where they all claim to be right and they all claim to follow one person who is supposed to be God, or the Son of God, or God Himself, and following Jesus, but yet they all fight amongst each other. So we've come to a time where that 6,000 years has expired as of the year 2000 AD. And this is where a new paradigm has come in, the time we call the Aquarius age, the age of Aquarius, or the sun cycle, and different energies now coming to the planet, where it's actually started off by the master teacher coming and releasing the truth. And he started to do this officially by way of the predictions, or people say prophecies, in 1970 when the seventh seal was broken. That meant that now the world will be open to the truth, and the best way to live is by truth. They teach you in religion that the truth, when it comes, that all false things will perish. And you've been seeing that happening, where most people are now awake. They're opening up their third eye. They're more conscious. They're more about peace, about love and unity. So the question you're asking is that, one, by the way of natural ether energy, the cycle had to wait till this time period. And of course, 6,000 years is a long time to be under the spell. But now people are waking up. So that's what's happening. So now you have to get in tune with yourself. And when you do that, work on yourself, then you become the example. And then everyone who is doing that will naturally gravitate together, because when you're learning and putting the truth into practice, by way of the information, which comes from outside in, from affirmation, you're now able to have a different mindset. You start to see things differently. You start to see right from wrong. This is what happened in the so-called biblical story where they were told not to eat of the tree of knowledge, because they were told if you eat of it, you will die. That was to make you afraid. And religions teach you that if you question God, or if you find out the truth and ask questions that they see to be uncomfortable or they don't have the answers, they say you're blaspheming or you're questioning God and you're going to go to hell and you're going to die, and put the fear of dying into you because you think it's the end of you. But energy cannot be destroyed. And so being afraid to go to hell or to burn in a fire is one of the ways that religion was used to make people not question or get the answers they need. But you can think it. And the question should be that who gives you your intellect? Your intellect is your intelligence. So you cannot think of a question if they say that God knows everything, that he's not listening to or can hear everything and he knows what you're doing, right? They even lie and tell you that, Father Christmas knows your every thought, or he knows the children's thoughts. But my point is, if God can give you the intelligence to ask the question, how can he then be afraid of you asking him that same question? It doesn't make sense. So with your mind, you're able to now see through the lies, and your mind was controlled by these practices and these false teachings. Whereas with the master teacher coming and teaching the truth, you started to use your mind, and now most people's minds are expounding. Because with religion, they keep you within the confines of a book. You have to believe, if you're Christian, you've got to believe in the Bible, and you can't read the Quran and follow the Muslims. The Muslims say the same thing. Those who read the Talmud, they say the same thing. Those who read Jehovah's Witnesses, that, everyone is divided. Whereas Wu-Sabat unites everyone on the truth. So if you're looking for the truth and want the truth, this is the place for you. So that's what happened.